The champagne glass flew straight into the wall, shattering into 1,000 pieces, the golden liquid slowly trickling down wallpaper that cost $800 a roll. Before we continue, write in the comments what city you're listening from. Let's see how far our stories travel. Kate, your business is mine now, and you'll be out of the apartment tomorrow. Marcus smirked, not even turning at the sound of breaking glass. His perfectly shaven face glowed with such smugness that Catherine wanted to throw something heavier at him. Maybe that vase of orchids he'd given her last birthday with the inscription, "To my queen." But she just stood in the middle of their now apparently only his living room and watched as the man she'd lived with for 7 years methodically filed away documents for her beauty salon. He didn't know she'd already managed to sign one document, and in the morning, he'd walk into the office and be speechless. But that would be morning. For now, it was night. The longest night in Catherine Walton's life. You know what's funny? Kate sat on the arm of the sofa, crossing her legs in ripped jeans that Marcus always called inappropriate for a successful entrepreneur's wife. I'm not even surprised, honestly. When your mother told me last month I wasn't good enough for her son, I thought, well, typical mother-in-law behavior. When you started staying late at work every night, explaining it was a new contract with overseas clients, I thought, well, business is business. But when you started smelling like Chanel No. 5, when I only wear Dior, excuse me, even I, with my small-town upbringing, figured something out. Marcus finally turned, and something like surprise flickered in his gray eyes. "How did you?" he began, but Kate waved her hand. "Oh, please, Marcus." "Your secretary, Amanda. Sweet girl, right? 22, long legs, silicone boobs, size triple D, classic. But here's what I don't understand. Why do you need my salon? You have your own construction empire, or whatever you call it." Marcus straightened, adjusted his Hermes tie, and smiled that smile that once made her knees weak, but now only made her nauseous. "You see, darling, your little salon is just prime real estate in downtown Manhattan. 3,000 square feet on Madison Avenue. I'll tear out your massage tables, put in an office. And the apartment? Well, the apartment's in my name, remember? We bought it before the wedding, and you so sweetly agreed there was no need to complicate things with joint ownership." He pulled a folded paper from his jacket pocket. "I even took care of you. This is the address of a hostel in Queens. I'll pay for the first week. After that, you're on your own. After all, 7 years together, I'm not heartless." Kate laughed so genuinely and infectiously that Marcus actually backed up. A hostel in Queens. Marcus, you've outdone yourself. What were the 5-star hotels booked? Or are you afraid I'll run into your Amanda there? She's probably waiting for you at the plaza. She stood, walked to the bar, and poured herself whiskey expensive, 20-year-old from Marcus's personal collection. "To your health, darling, and to your mother's health. By the way, tell Patricia that the massage therapist she raves about at my salon is actually a former stripper. She kept asking for his private number for home sessions. I can give it to you." Marcus's face turned purple. "Don't you dare bring my mother into this," he barked. But Kate just waved him off. "Relax. Your mother's a saint who raised such a special son. You know, I'm actually grateful to you, really. For 7 years, I thought the problem was me, that I wasn't pretty enough. So I got Botox and signed up for yoga. Not smart enough. So I got a 2nd degree in marketing. Not domestic enough. So I learned to cook all your favorite dishes, even that ridiculous tuna tartare that makes me gag. Turns out the problem was I wasn't young enough or silicone enough. It's so simple." "Stop being hysterical," Marcus said coldly. "Tomorrow at 9 a.m., movers will be here. You can take your clothes and whatever else you have. Just don't touch my gifts. Watches, jewelry, bags, all bought with my money." Kate nodded with the most serious expression. "Of course, darling. I'll only take what I bought myself. Like your toothbrush for $3, and the toilet paper I bought 3-ply with chamomile yesterday. You don't mind?" Marcus stepped close to her, and she smelled his cologne sharp, expensive, once beloved. You know, Kate, I tried to do everything civilly, but you're asking for it. I have the salon documents. You signed the power of attorney 6 months ago, remember? When you went to visit your mother in Springfield and there was an inspection at the salon? So don't even try to dispute it. I have the best lawyers in the city. He picked up the folder from the table and headed for the exit. Oh, almost forgot your keys, please. Kate silently took the key ring from her purse and handed it to him. Here, and the salon one too, the one with the pink keychain. You know I've always been accommodating. Marcus looked at her with surprise, clearly expecting tears, screaming, maybe even a fight. But Kate just stood there smiling. That easy? He couldn't resist asking. What did you expect? For me to crawl on my knees, beg? Marcus, we're adults. You decided you need a younger model. That's your right. I'm not going to make scenes. You can go to your Amanda in peace. He stood for another second, then turned and left, slamming the door. Kate waited until the sound of his footsteps faded in the hallway, walked to the window, and saw him get into his black Mercedes and drive away. Only then did she allow herself to exhale and dialed the number. Lisa, it's me. Yes, everything happened just like you predicted. Even offered me a hostel in Queens. Can you imagine? No, I'm not crying. Honestly. Listen, are you sure about the documents? It's just that if something goes wrong. Yes, I know. Your husband's the best notary in New York. Okay, see you tomorrow at the salon. What time? 8. Marcus said he's coming at 9 to pick up the office keys. Oh, I see. Brilliant. Liz, I adore you. See you tomorrow. Elizabeth Crowley, née Peterson, had been Kate's best friend since college. They'd studied economics together, shared a dorm room together, fell for the same professors together, and got disappointed in them together. But while Kate opened a small beauty salon after college that she turned into one of Manhattan's most prestigious over 7 years, Lisa married Victor Crowley, not young, but incredibly talented notary who knew every loophole in the law. Kate, honey, don't worry, Lisa had said 2 weeks ago when Kate came to her in tears after accidentally seeing Marcus's messages with his mistress. Victor and I will figure something out. You know he's a genius with legal matters. Remember how he helped that woman whose alcoholic husband tried to take the kids? Well, your case is nothing compared to that. Kate walked through the empty apartment. Strange, but she didn't feel sad. For 7 years, she'd furnished this space, chosen every vase, every painting. That abstract landscape in the gold frame they'd bought it at auction in Vienna when they went for their anniversary. And that ballerina figurine, a gift for their first Christmas together. Every item held a story. But all these stories now seemed foreign, as if she were watching a movie about another woman. A woman who believed that if you tried hard enough, you could earn love. What foolishness! She poured herself more whiskey and settled on the sofa with her phone. She needed to warn the salon staff. First, she called Sarah, the senior manager, a 28-year-old beauty with red hair and a sharp tongue. Sarah, hi. Yes, I know it's 2 a.m. Listen carefully. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., Marcus is coming to the salon. Yes, that Marcus. No, we're not together anymore. He thinks the salon is his now. Don't scream, Sarah. Listen to me. Get everyone there by 8 a.m. Everyone, massage therapists, estheticians, even Rosa with her coffee readings. Yes, I know Rosa only comes in after lunch, but tomorrow have her make an exception. And call Mike, yes, that photographer Mike. Tell him to bring his camera. No, it's not for advertising. It's for history. The next call was to Stacy, the head esthetician, a 30-year-old blonde with Barbie doll looks and professor-level brains. Stacy, sorry to wake you. We're having an interesting morning tomorrow. No, the salon's not closing. On the contrary, it's opening in a new capacity. Remember how you kept suggesting we introduce that new snail treatment? Well, tomorrow we start. What? Where are the snails from? Stacy, you know me. I've thought of everything. Call your supplier, have him deliver early, a whole bucket of snails if necessary. And wear something bright tomorrow. That red blouse where you look like Monica Bellucci. See you." Then she called Alex, the massage therapist all the clients sighed over. 26 years old, 6'2", swimmer shoulders, and a Hollywood smile. "Alex, sweetheart, sorry it's so late. Big day tomorrow." "No, don't worry. Salary's fine. Actually, I'm raising it 30% starting tomorrow." "For what?" "For professionalism, dear. And by the way, remember Patricia Wells who comes to you for massages? The one with purple hair? Well, tomorrow she's coming at 9:30. Yes, I know you start at 10, but make an exception. And Alex, be especially attentive with her. No, within professional ethics, of course. It's just that she might be stressed tomorrow and needs special support." The last call was the most important. Kate dialed her mother's number in Springfield. "Mom?" "Yes, I know what time it is." "No, nothing happened." "Well, something did, but it's good." "Mom, remember you always said Marcus wasn't right for me?" "Well, you were right." "No, don't cry. Mom, come on. I'm fine, really, more than fine. Listen, remember Dad's friend, Uncle Nick, who's a big shot at the IRS now? Could you call him in the morning?" "No, I don't need help. Just ask if anyone's been inquiring about construction firms lately. Especially Marcus Construction." Yes, that's what he unimaginatively named his empire. "What?" "Oh, well, if Uncle Nick finds anything questionable, have him proceed by law." "Mom, I'm not asking for anything illegal. Just a routine tax audit." "Thanks, Mom. I love you." Having finished her calls, Kate walked into the bedroom, their former bedroom. The king-size canopy bed looked like a mockery. How many times had she fallen asleep here alone while Marcus worked with overseas partners? She opened the closet and methodically began packing. Only her things, jeans, t-shirts, that little black dress she bought herself with her first paycheck. But the designer outfits Marcus had chosen, Valentino, Chanel, Dior, she left hanging. Let Amanda have them, if they fit. In the dresser drawer she found their wedding photos. How young and happy they looked. Or had she just thought they were happy? She peered at Marcus's face in the picture. Even then there was something calculating in his eyes. She just hadn't wanted to see it. And there she was. Wind-blown, beaming smile, bouquet of white roses. "Fool," she said to her reflection in the photo, and put the album back in the drawer. Suddenly the phone rang. Unknown number. "Hello? Catherine Andrews?" A man's voice, unfamiliar and agitated. "Yes, this is she." "Who are you?" "My name is Sergei Petrov. I work at your husband's firm. Accountant. Sorry to call so late, but I thought you should know." "Know what?" "Marcus Wells is planning to declare the company bankrupt. Fictitiously, of course. All assets have already been transferred to shell companies. But there's one problem, your salon. It's registered as part of the holding, and if the bankruptcy goes through, they'll seize the salon for debts." Kate sat on the bed. "So, that's it. Why are you telling me this?" she asked. The man hesitated. "You see, I've worked at the company 15 years. I remember it when it was small, when Marcus was just starting. And I remember you were always kind to employees, asked about us, congratulated us on holidays. And well, I thought it would be unfair if you got hurt." "Sergei, are the bankruptcy documents ready?" "Yes, everything's ready. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Marcus is filing. And if someone wanted to, say, study these documents more closely, Catherine, I didn't hear anything and didn't say anything. But if a certain flash drive happened to appear tomorrow at 8 a.m. under the doormat at your salon, and if it happened to contain copies of all documents, including asset transfer schemes, well, that would be a strange coincidence." "Thank you, Sergei. You're a good person." "Catherine, I just don't like injustice. And be careful, Marcus can be dangerous when cornered. Thanks for the warning. Goodbye." Kate hung up and thought, so it was even worse than she'd thought. Marcus didn't just want to take the salon, he wanted to destroy everything she'd built. But he'd underestimated her. All these years, he'd seen her only as a beautiful addition to his image, not noticing that she'd been learning, observing, drawing conclusions. She pulled a business card from her purse. Alexander Gold, private investigator. A month ago, she'd hired him to follow Marcus, and what he'd dug up could be a plot for a crime series. The mistress was just the tip of the iceberg. There were also offshore accounts, shady schemes, kickbacks. Marcus wasn't just an unfaithful husband, he was a criminal in an expensive suit. She dialed the detective's number. "Mr. Gold?" "Yes, I know it's 3 a.m. Listen, tomorrow it all begins. Are you ready?" "Excellent. Send the materials at 9 a.m. as we agreed." "Where?" "To the IRS, the DA's office, and yes, to that tabloid too." "What's it called?" "The New York Exposé. Terrible name, but it'll do. Main thing is to make it loud." Kate spent the rest of the night on her laptop, checking documents. 2 weeks ago, when Lisa told her about a possible scheme to save the salon, it had seemed like a gamble. But Victor, Lisa's husband, turned out to be a real genius. He found a loophole in the power of attorney Kate had signed. Yes, she'd given Marcus the right to manage the salon in her absence, but it said in her absence, not in her place. And the power of attorney expired exactly at midnight that day. But the most brilliant part was something else. 3 weeks ago, Kate had filed a deed of gift to her mother. Formally, the salon no longer belonged to her or Marcus. It belonged to Helen Walton, a retiree from Springfield who had no idea about any bankruptcies or holdings. At 6 a.m., Kate showered, put on makeup brighter than usual if it's war, let it be war, and wore her favorite jeans and white shirt. No designer outfits. She was herself again. By 7, she was at the salon. Under the doormat there really was a flash drive. "Thank you, Sergey," she whispered and tucked it in her pocket. Sarah arrived first, all in black like attending a funeral. "Catherine, what's going on? I didn't sleep all night." "Sarah, calm down. I'll explain everything now." The others arrived next. Stacy with a bucket of snails where she got them at 7 a.m. was a mystery. Alex in a tight t-shirt that made Sarah's jaw drop. Massage therapists Maria and Claire. Estheticians, manicurists, and even Rosa, a 30-something woman with incredible green eyes, who read palms and made coffee better than any trendy cafe. "Ladies and gentlemen," Kate began when everyone gathered, "I have 2 pieces of news. Bad. My now ex-husband thinks that as of today the salon belongs to him. He'll be here in an hour with firm conviction that he's the boss now." Outraged exclamations erupted. "And the good news?" Stacy asked. "The good news is he's wrong. The salon doesn't belong to him, and it doesn't belong to me anymore either." Everyone froze. "What do you mean?" Sarah breathed. "Like this. Meet your new owner." Kate opened the door, and in walked a petite woman in her 50s, in a simple blue dress with a hairstyle unchanged for 20 years. "Mom!" Kate threw herself into her arms. "Sweetheart, stop acting like a child." Helen patted her daughter's head. "I said I'd come, so here I am. Overnight train, like in my youth. Hello, everyone. And you, young man." She smiled at Alex, who blushed like a schoolboy. "I've heard a lot about you from Kate. She says you're the best team in New York." Aunt Helen Sarah was first to recover. "I mean, Helen, so you're our boss now." "Well, formally, yes, but in fact, Kate will manage everything like before. I'm just, what's it called, the nominal owner. I'm 60 years old. What kind of manager am I for a beauty salon? I can barely put on lipstick properly." The door buzzer rang. "That's Lisa and Victor," Kate said, and went to open it. Elizabeth Crowley looked like she stepped off a magazine cover. Perfect hair, red sheath dress, stiletto heels. Her husband Victor was the opposite, unimpressive. Short, pudgy, in glasses, but his eyes were sharp and intelligent. "Kate, darling." Lisa hugged her friend. "How are you?" "Fine. Ready for battle." Victor prepared everything. "Here are the documents." Victor handed over a folder. "Everything's here. Deed of gift, registry extracts, Confirmation of your mother's ownership. Marcus can jump to the ceiling, but legally he's nobody. And we also have this." Kate showed the flash drive. "What's that?" Victor asked with interest. "Proof that Marcus is planning to declare his company bankrupt and transfer all assets." Victor whistled. "That's a criminal charge. Premeditated bankruptcy up to 6 years." "Exactly," Kate smiled. "Catherine." Rosa peeked out from the treatment room. "Can I see you for a minute?" Kate entered the small room hung with oriental carpets and smelling of incense. Rosa looked agitated. "Give me your hand," she asked. Kate extended her palm. Rosa peered at the lines, then took out her tarot cards and laid them out. "What do you see?" Kate asked, though she didn't usually believe in fortune-telling. "I see big changes. See this card? The Tower. Everything's collapsing, but for the better. And this, justice. Justice will prevail, but not immediately. And also," Rosa hesitated, "what else? New love, very soon. A man from far away, not from your circle. He'll change your life. Rosa, honey, after Marcus, I don't want to think about men. Fate doesn't ask what we want. It just gives us what should be." The salon door buzzed again. "Probably Mike the photographer," Sarah said, and went to open it. But it wasn't Mike. Patricia Wells herself burst into the salon. Marcus's mother, an imposing woman with purple permed hair in a mink coat despite it being May. "Where is that bitch?" she screamed from the doorway. "Where is that provincial upstart who dares to claim my son's property? Patricia." Kate came out to meet her, maintaining Olympic calm. "Good morning. Are you here for your massage? Alex is waiting for you." "What massage? Do you realize what you're doing? Marcus told me everything. You stole documents, forged signatures. I'll call the police." "Call them," Kate said calmly. "And while they're coming, meet my mother, Helen Walton, the salon's new owner." The two women stared at each other. Patricia all in diamonds and fur, and Helen in a simple dress from Target. "So you're the mother of this," Patricia began. But Helen interrupted. "This wonderful woman who put up with your spoiled son for 7 years? Yes, that's me. And you, I see, are that mother-in-law who considered my daughter unworthy of your precious Marcus. Well, you know what? I think your son was unworthy of my Kate. She's smart, beautiful, built her own business, and your son lived off shady schemes and kickbacks. Yes, yes, don't make those big eyes. I know everything. I have many friends in Springfield, including in law enforcement." "How dare you?" Patricia turned purple. "I'll sue you, ruin you. You'll be begging in the streets." "Patricia," Victor interjected, "allow me to introduce myself. Victor Crowley, notary. Here are the documents confirming Helen Walton's ownership of this salon. Everything's completely legal. If you want to dispute it, please do. But I warn you the process will be long and, I'm afraid, fruitless for you." "Alex!" Patricia shrieked. "Alex, darling, tell these crazy people you only work with me, that you'll leave if they don't stop this circus." Alex came out of the treatment room, wiping his hands with a towel. In the tight t-shirt, he looked like a Greek god descended from Olympus to check on mortals. "Patricia, I work at the salon, not personally for you. And you know what? Catherine just raised my salary 30%, so I'm not going anywhere." At that moment, the door flew open and Marcus entered. Suit impeccable, shoes polished to a shine, confident stride of a man who owns the world. Behind him scurried Amanda, the secretary, a 22-year-old blonde in a mini-skirt with silicone lips. "Everyone out of my salon," Marcus commanded. "You have 5 minutes to gather your things." "Marcus, honey." Patricia rushed to her son. "They're all conspiring. This trash did something." "Mom, calm down. We'll sort it out now." Marcus pulled documents from his pocket. "Here's the power of attorney for salon management, signed by Catherine. So everyone out." "Mr. Wells." Victor adjusted his glasses. "May I look at your power of attorney? Let's see. Ah, dated 6 months ago. Valid for 6 months, which expired yesterday at midnight. Furthermore, the power of attorney grants management rights, not ownership. But that's irrelevant now since the salon no longer belongs to your ex-wife. He handed Marcus a folder. Here are documents transferring the salon as a gift to Helen Walton 3 weeks ago. Everything's notarized, registered with the county. So I'm afraid you'll need to leave the premises. Marcus looked through the documents, and his face began changing color from white to red to purple. This is fake. Kate couldn't have. 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, you were sleeping with your secretary in our bedroom, Kate said calmly. I came home early from work, wanted to surprise you. The surprise certainly happened, just not the way I planned. Amanda squeaked and hid behind Marcus. Baby, don't listen to her, Marcus said. To this silicone wonder? Kate snorted. Marcus, I have many faults, but bad taste isn't one of them. Kate, listen. Marcus changed tactics. Let's talk calmly. We're adults. I got carried away yesterday. Let's discuss everything. Discuss your fictitious bankruptcy? Or the asset transfers to offshore accounts? Or maybe the kickbacks on the Children's Center construction in Queens? Marcus paled. How do you... Marcus, did you really think I spent 7 years just painting my nails and noticing nothing? I know everything. And not just me. She looked at her watch. It's 9:15 now. 15 minutes ago, packages of documents about your exploits were received by the IRS, the DA's office, and a couple of particularly yellow papers. I think by lunch you'll be a star. The door buzzed again. This time it really was Mike, the photographer, a guy in his 20s with a camera and tousled hair. Catherine, I'm not late, am I? Oh, lots of people. Do I photograph everyone? Mike, shoot everything. This is a historic moment. You'll pay for this, Marcus hissed, taking a step toward Kate. But Alex blocked his way. Mr. Wells, no rudeness, especially toward ladies. Who are you to tell me what to do? A man who can call the police and report attempted assault. We have cameras everywhere and plenty of witnesses. Marcus, let's leave, Patricia screeched. We don't need to be here among this rabble. Rabble? Sarah repeated. We're rabble? Look at yourself. Mink coat in May. Is that a cry for help or just bad taste? Marcus, Kate approached him. Leave now and forget the way here. And if I were you, I'd urgently find a good lawyer, a very good one, because judging by what the private investigator told me, you'll really need one. Marcus looked at her with a long gaze mixing rage, surprise, and something like respect. I underestimated you, he finally said. For 7 years I thought you were just a pretty airhead. Turns out you're a snake. Not a snake, Kate corrected. Just a woman who shouldn't have been betrayed. Now leave. My workday is starting. Marcus turned and walked to the exit. Amanda tottered after him on her heels. Patricia lingered for a second. Alex, darling, you'll come to my house, won't you? I'll pay double. Alex smiled his signature smile. Patricia, I appreciate your offer, but I have a contract with the salon. All the best. When the door closed behind them, everyone exhaled, then started applauding. Kate, you were magnificent, Lisa exclaimed. Did you see his face? Priceless. Sarah laughed. And his mother, Alex, darling, Stacy mimicked. Girls, girls. Helen raised her hand. Let's still work. Clients will be coming. Right. Kate caught herself. We have appointments all day. Everyone to your stations. Sarah, check the schedule. Stacy, prepare your treatment room. You have a procedure at 10. Alex, where's... Oh, there you are. Here. Alex emerged from the back room with a bottle of champagne. This needs celebrating. Alex, it's 10 in the morning, Helen protested. Well, Mom, Kate interjected, 1 glass? Fine, Helen surrendered. But just one. While Alex poured champagne into glasses, where did they even come from in a beauty salon? Mystery, the door buzzed again. I'll get it, Rosa said. A minute later, she returned with a strange expression. Catherine, someone's asking for you. A man. If Marcus came back... No, not Marcus. Completely different. Kate went to the lobby and froze. At the door stood a man, about 35, tall, broad-shouldered, with short hair and attentive brown eyes. Dressed simply jeans, plaid shirt, leather jacket. "Catherine Walton?" he asked, and he had a pleasant, deep voice. "Yes, that's me. My name is Paul Stevens. I'm from the IRS. You see, half an hour ago, we received a very interesting package of documents regarding Marcus Construction and, personally, Marcus Wells. It indicates the information was provided by you. I'd like to talk with you in more detail. The thing is, if these documents are genuine, we're talking about very serious violations, but I need clarifications." "Mr. Stevens," Victor intervened, coming into the lobby. "I'm Catherine's attorney. You can ask all questions in my presence." "No problem," Paul nodded. "Is there a place we could talk?" "Come to my office," Kate offered. "My former office, now Mom's." They went into a small room at the end of the hall, tastefully furnished. White furniture, lots of flowers. On the wall, an NYU diploma and a bunch of certificates from various courses. "Nice place you have," Paul remarked, settling into the visitor's chair. "Thank you. Coffee?" "I wouldn't refuse." Kate pressed the intercom button. "Rosa, can you make us coffee? The special kind?" "Coming right up, dear." "So," Paul pulled out a tablet. "The documents you sent contain information about asset transfers, fictitious deals, tax evasion totaling." He looked at the tablet. "About $30 million. That's a very serious accusation." "It's not an accusation," Kate said calmly. "These are facts. I have originals of most documents." "How did you obtain them?" "I was married to Marcus for 7 years, had access to his home office. Sometimes he'd ask me to bring something, send a fax, make copies. I didn't steal, I just remembered." Paul looked at her intently. "You understand that by giving this testimony, you're essentially sending your ex-husband to prison?" "Already ex, and yes, I understand. But you see, it's not just personal grievance. He didn't just deceive me. That construction in Queens, it was a children's center. Because he cut corners on materials while lining his pockets, the building was declared unsafe before opening. 300 kids were left without a facility. And the residential complex in Brooklyn, people bought apartments, but the building still hasn't been completed, 3rd year running. There are dozens of stories like this." Rosa entered with a tray. The coffee smelled amazing, sharp, with notes of cinnamon and cardamom. "Your coffee," she said, placing cups on the table. Then, looking at Paul, she added, "You have an interesting destiny, young man. I see a long journey in your past and big changes in your future." Paul raised his eyebrows in surprise. "Rosa's our fortune teller," Kate explained. "Don't pay attention, she predicts everyone's fate." "I don't mind," Paul smiled. "I like changes." After Rosa left, he continued, "Catherine, we'll need your official statement and all original documents. Are you ready to cooperate with the investigation?" "Completely. You may have to testify in court." "I'm ready. And one more question, if you'll allow me. Personal." Kate tensed. "What?" "Why are you doing this? Revenge?" Kate thought, sipping her coffee. "You know, at first I really wanted revenge. When I found out about the affair, that he was planning to throw me out on the street. But then I realized it's not about revenge. It's about justice. He's thought too long that he could get away with anything, that he could deceive people, steal, betray, and face no consequences. But it doesn't work that way. Sooner or later you have to pay." Paul nodded. "I understand. Okay, let's make it all official then." They spent the next hour preparing the statement and documenting everything. Victor monitored every word, occasionally interjecting with clarifications. Finally, everything was ready. "Thank you for your cooperation," Paul said, standing. "We'll contact you in the coming days, and good luck." He extended his hand, and Kate shook it. The handshake was firm, confident. "Did I imagine it? Or was Rosa right about changes?" he asked suddenly. "What do you mean?" Kate didn't understand. "Well, I really did recently move to New York from Seattle, transferred for work. So the long journey, that's definitely me." "From Seattle? That's the other end of the country." "Yeah, wanted changes. You know, sometimes you need to drop everything and start over. Kate nodded understandingly. Yes, I understand you perfectly. After Paul left, Kate sat in the office for a long time, looking at his business card. Paul Stevens, Senior Inspector. Ordinary card, nothing special. But for some reason, she didn't want to throw it away. Kate! Lisa flew into the office. How are you? Everything okay? Yes, all good, wrote the statement, handed over documents. What about that guy? He's cute. Lisa. What, Lisa? I'm just stating facts. Tall, broad-shouldered, smart eyes, and no wedding ring, I noticed. Lisa, he's from the IRS, came on business. So what? Business is business, but a handsome man is a handsome man. When's he coming back? I don't know. He said they'd contact me soon. Perfect. You'll have time to get a manicure. Kate laughed. Lisa, my life just collapsed yesterday. What men? So what? Life collapsed and that's it? End of the world? Kate, you're 32. You're beautiful, smart, with a business. You're the best catch in New York. After Marcus, I'm disillusioned with men. You're disillusioned with Marcus. He's not all men. Look at my Victor, not handsome, sure, but so reliable and smart. Did you see how he took Marcus apart? A knock at the door. Catherine. Sarah peeked in. We have a problem. A client came. Had an appointment at 10 with Maria for massage. But Maria called, stuck in traffic. Won't be here for at least an hour. Okay, calm down. Who's the client? New, first time, already freaking out. Bring her to me. A minute later, a woman about 40 entered, head to toe Prada, face stretched with Botox into a mask. This is outrageous. I have an appointment. I specifically left work early. I'm so sorry. Kate stood to meet her. Our therapist got stuck in traffic. Manhattan, you understand. Let me work on you myself. I have a massage license. I just usually handle administration. The woman looked at her skeptically. You know what you're doing? I'll do you so well you'll come back 100 times. Kate smiled. Come on. The next hour, Kate remembered everything she'd learned in her Thai massage course in Bangkok. Marcus had paid for it, so she wouldn't be bored while he conducted negotiations. The woman grumbled at first, then went quiet, then started moaning with pleasure. God, what hands you have! This is incredible! Thank you. I try. I'll be coming to you now. What's your name? Catherine. And I'm Joanna. Joanna Richards. You know, I've been going to different salons for a year, looking for my therapist, and it seems I've found her. When Joanna, relaxed and satisfied, was leaving, she shoved $100 bill into Kate's hand. This is a tip. You earned it. Thank you, but we don't really accept. Except, I want to show my appreciation. And book me for next week. No, better twice a week. Look at that, Lisa said after Joanna left. You're also an excellent massage therapist. Multi-talented. Oh, please, my hands. Just remember. Your hands may remember, but your face looks fresher. Work is healing, right? The day flew by. Clients streamed in. The phone rang off the hook. News that something was happening at the salon spread through Manhattan at lightning speed. Some called out of curiosity, some to express support, some to book appointments. By evening, Kate was dead on her feet. All right, everyone, that's enough for today, she announced at 7. Everyone did great, worked like bees. We'll continue tomorrow. Catherine. Rosa approached. Can I have a word? They stepped aside. That man who came this morning, the tax inspector. What about him? He'll come back. And not for work. Rosa. Stop making things up. I'm not making things up. I see you have a connection with him. Maybe not right away, but it'll happen. Kate wanted to object, but her phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Catherine Walton? This is Paul Stevens. Kate looked at Rosa in surprise, who smiled and went for her cards. Yes, Paul. Did something happen? No, everything's fine. You see, I was thinking. Today you said I'm from Seattle and you understood me perfectly about changes. And I thought maybe you could help me? Help with what? Well, I don't know New York at all. Where to eat? Where to go on weekends? Maybe you'd agree to be my, what's it called, guide? Kate was flustered. Paul, you understand we have a professional relationship. Another department is handling the investigation. I just took the statement, so formally there are no obstacles. But if you don't want to, I understand. There was something so genuine, almost boyish in his voice, that Kate smiled. You know what? Let's meet Saturday at 2 p.m. at the Bethesda Fountain. I'll show you New York. Really? Great. Thank you. See you Saturday. Kate hung up and turned around. Her whole team stood in a semicircle, smiling. What? She asked. Nothing, Sarah said. You just have the face of a schoolgirl asked on her first date. It's not a date. I'm just showing him the city. Uh-huh, the girls said in unison. Sure. Okay, enough. Helen intervened. Kate, let's go home. I mean to my hotel. You don't have an apartment now. Kate sighed. She'd completely forgotten she had nowhere to live. Mom, maybe I'll rent something? Not a chance. You'll stay with me in Springfield until you find a new apartment. Or, she smiled slyly, until you find someone to buy a new apartment with. That evening, sitting in the hotel room, Helen had checked into a modest but clean hotel near the salon. Kate checked her phone. Dozens of messages from acquaintances, clients, even some of Marcus's friends, expressing outrage at his behavior. But one message made her heart clench. From Marcus, "You'll regret what you did. This isn't over." "Mom," she called. "What, sweetheart?" "Marcus is threatening." Helen took the phone, read the message, and snorted. "Let him threaten. He'll have bigger problems than revenge on his ex-wife right now. You filed with the IRS, right?" "Yes." "Well, now he won't have time for you. And if anything, we have a good lawyer. That Victor. Anyway, enough about the bad. Tell me about that tax guy. Paul, I think?" "Mom?" "What, Mom?" "I saw how you blushed when he called. He's nice. And not married, it seems?" "No." "Perfect. Time to start a new life." "Mom, I just broke up with Marcus yesterday." "So what? Should you be in mourning for a year?" "Kate, you're 32. Time flies. Don't miss your chance at happiness." Saturday morning, Kate woke with a strange feeling, a mix of excitement and anticipation. Was she really going on a date? No, not a date, just a friendly meeting, city tour. Nothing special. But then why did she spend an hour choosing what to wear? She finally settled on simple jeans and a white blouse, almost like the day she left Marcus. Only the mood was completely different, light, almost airy. As if the weight she'd been carrying on her shoulders for 7 years had finally fallen off. Paul was waiting at the fountain, and Kate couldn't help admiring him. In jeans and a simple t-shirt, he looked even better than in his official suit. Seeing her, he smiled and waved. "Catherine, thanks for coming. Let's use first names," she suggested. "And just Kate." "Then I'm just Paul. So where are we going?" They walked around New York for 4 hours. Kate showed him her favorite places, the little West Village alleys where she loved to wander as a student, Washington Square Park where she once dreamed of great love, the High Line where she used to go jogging. Paul listened, asked questions, laughed at her jokes. He told her about Seattle, the ocean, how he decided to drop everything and leave after his fiancée ran away from their wedding with his best friend. Imagine I'm standing in the courthouse. Guests gathered, music playing, but no bride. I call, phone's off. Then I get a text. "Sorry, I love Danny. Danny was my childhood friend." That's the story. How awful, Kate said sincerely. Must have been so painful. It was. But you know, now I think maybe it was for the best. If not for that, I'd still be in Seattle, working at the same office, living the same life. Instead, new city, new job, new people. He looked at her and smiled. New acquaintances. They stopped at a small cafe in Soho. Paul ordered a Reuben. Want to test if New Yorkers really can't make a good sandwich. Kate got a Caesar salad. Over food, the conversation naturally shifted to personal matters. "Did you know for long that Marcus was cheating?" Paul asked. "Suspected for 3 months. Knew for sure 3 weeks ago. Came home early, wanted to surprise him. Got a surprise all right." "What? Right in your apartment?" Right in our bedroom, on our bed we'd picked together in Italy for our anniversary. Bastard, Paul said curtly. Sorry, but there's no other word. It's okay. I called him worse. You know what was most offensive? Not even the cheating, but that he thought I was stupid, that I wouldn't notice, wouldn't understand. And when he decided to throw me out, he was sure I'd just quietly leave like a beaten dog. But you didn't leave. I didn't. I'm not a confrontational person generally. But there's a line you can't cross. He crossed it. After the cafe, they walked along the park. The May evening was warm. Lots of people around, street musicians playing. Some guy with a guitar sang something romantic about love and parting. Dance? Paul suddenly suggested. What, right here? Kate was surprised. Why not? Look, others are dancing. Indeed, several couples were spinning to the music right on the path. Paul extended his hand, and Kate, hesitating for a second, placed her palm in his. He put his arm around her waist. She put her hand on his shoulder, and they began slowly spinning to the music. Kate couldn't remember when she'd last danced like this, simply, without pretension, without needing to conform. With Marcus, they only danced at official receptions where they had to portray the perfect couple. Thank you, Paul said when the music ended. For what? For today, for agreeing. I've been in New York 6 months, but today's the first time I felt it could become home. Kate blushed. Oh, please. I just showed you the city. Not just. You're special, Kate. I knew it right away yesterday at the salon. How you handled your ex-husband, that takes strength. Not everyone could do that. They stood very close, and Kate suddenly realized that in another moment he'd kiss her, and that she wanted it. But at the last second she stepped back. It's late. I should go. I'll walk you. No need. I'll take a cab. Then see you again? See you, Kate promised, though she didn't know if she wanted to or was afraid to. In the taxi, she looked out at evening New York and thought about how strangely life works. 3 days ago, she had a husband, apartment, established routine. Now, none of that existed. But there was a feeling of freedom and possibility. Yes, perhaps possibility. The possibility to start over, do it right. Her phone pinged. Message from Paul. Thanks for a wonderful day. Maybe next time I can show you New York from my side? There are a couple places I've come to love. Kate smiled and typed back. Deal. Monday brought a surprise. When she arrived at the salon, Sarah met her with a mysterious look. Catherine, something happened. What? Remember Joanna Richards, who you did the massage for? She brought friends, 5 people, and they all want only you. Say you have golden hands. Indeed, 5 women aged 30 to 50 sat in the lobby, all wealthy, judging by clothes and jewelry. Catherine! Joanna exclaimed. Here's our miracle worker. Girls, this is that Kate I told you about. The next several hours, Kate did massages. The women were thrilled, each booked for next week, and one, owner of a fitness club chain, offered Kate to teach master classes. I have 300 instructors across New York. If you teach them to work like this, I'll pay you $100,000. By lunch, Kate was exhausted but happy. This was the feeling she'd forgotten during her years with Marcus, feeling needed, valued. She was doing something with her own hands, and people were grateful. Break, Sarah announced. Catherine, go eat or you'll collapse. Kate went to the cafe across the street, ordered lunch, and had just settled at a table when her phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Catherine Walton. This is Detective Michael Cohen. I was given your case regarding fraud charges. When can you come in to give testimony? Kate went cold. It had begun. When do you need me? Sooner the better. Can you come today after 5? I can. Great. Come to the DA's office on Center Street. Ask for me. Kate wrote down the address and hung up. Her appetite vanished. At 5, she sat in the detective's office, a man about 50 with a tired face and kind eyes. Don't worry, he said, noticing her tension. You're a witness, not a defendant. Just tell me everything you know. And Kate told him about shell companies, offshore accounts, kickbacks, The detective took notes, occasionally clarifying details. "Do you have documents?" "Here." Kate handed over a folder. "These are copies. Originals are in a bank deposit box." The detective flipped through the papers and whistled. "This could be 10 years. Your ex-husband is in deep trouble." "I don't want him to go away for 10 years, Kate said quietly. "I just want him to answer for what he did and for people to get their apartments." "That's for the court to decide. But judging by the materials you provided and what the IRS found, the case is serious. Marcus Wells has been declared a fugitive." "A fugitive? You didn't know?" "He disappeared. Apartment's empty, hasn't shown up at work, phones don't answer. But don't worry, we'll find him. We have good statistics on cases like this." Kate left the DA's building with a heavy heart. She hadn't wanted this trials, prison, all this mess. She just wanted to live quietly, work, maybe meet a normal man. Then she remembered Paul and smiled involuntarily. Over these days, they'd exchanged dozens of messages. He sent her funny pictures. She sent photos from the salon. Yesterday, he'd written that he found a great place with authentic dumplings and would definitely take her there. Her phone rang. "Paul, hi. How are you?" "Okay. Just came from the DA's office." "Tough?" "A little." "Listen, want to meet? Get coffee? Talk?" "Paul, I don't know, Kate. I don't want to impose, but I think you shouldn't be alone right now. Let's just sit somewhere." "No, without anything." Kate thought for a second. "Okay. Where are you?" "In Midtown. Can come wherever you say." "I'm nearby. Let's meet at Bryant Park in half an hour." Paul came with a bouquet of wildflowers. "For you. I know it's banal, but I saw a lady in the subway. Couldn't pass by." Kate took the flowers and her nose stung. When was the last time someone gave her flowers just because? Marcus gave roses expensive, beautiful, but somehow soulless. But these daisies and cornflowers smelled of summer and warmth. They sat in a small coffee shop, and Kate told him about the visit to the detective. Paul listened without interrupting, sometimes taking her hand when he saw it was particularly hard for her. "You know you're brave," he said when she finished. "Not everyone would dare do this. It would have been easier to take a payoff and leave quietly." "He didn't offer a payoff. He offered a hostel in Queens." "Idiot. Sorry. But there's no other word." "Paul, don't you regret getting involved with me? I have such a mess right now. Ex-husband, investigation, trials ahead." "Kate, I'm not a little boy. I'm 35. I've seen everything. And you know what? You're the most real person I've met in years. No masks, no games. You just live, fight, don't give up. That's worth a lot." At that moment, a woman entered the coffee shop and Kate flinched. Amanda, Marcus's mistress. She was alone, looked lost and somehow rumpled. Seeing Kate, she froze, then resolutely approached their table. "Catherine, can I have a word?" Paul tensed, but Kate put her hand on his shoulder. "It's okay. What do you want, Amanda?" Amanda sat in the empty chair. Up close, you could see she'd been crying. Mascara smeared, eyes red. I wanted to apologize. For everything. I know you hate me, and you have every right, but I had to tell you." "Tell me what?" "Marcus disappeared 3 days ago. Said he was going to the house to get something and vanished. Phone doesn't answer. I went to the police. They said he's under investigation. A fugitive." "Catherine, what's happening?" Kate looked at her young, beautiful, stupid girl who fell for the good life and felt something like pity. "Amanda, how old are you?" 22. "Did you love Marcus?" Amanda was silent. I don't know. I thought so. He was so confident, strong, rich, said he'd divorce and marry me, promised an apartment, car, and you believed him? Didn't you believe when you were 22? Good question. Kate remembered herself 10 years ago, naive, in love, ready to believe any fairy tale. Amanda, listen carefully. Marcus is on the run now. His company's on the verge of bankruptcy. Criminal charges have been filed against him. If you're smart, Stay far away from him. Find another job. Start over. You're young, beautiful. You have everything ahead. Don't waste your life on someone who doesn't value it." Amanda nodded, wiping tears. "Thank you. I didn't expect you to talk to me. After what I did. You didn't do anything to me. Marcus would have found someone anyway. If not you, someone else. It's not about you, it's about him. Go home, Amanda. Forget him." After Amanda left, Paul whistled. "You're more magnanimous than I thought. I would've—" "What? Made a scene? Scratched her eyes out?" "Paul, she's a victim, like me. Only I managed to jump off in time and she hasn't yet. But she will, I'm sure." The next weeks flew by in a whirlwind. Days Kate worked at the salon, more and more clients. They even had to hire new staff. Evenings she met with Paul. They went to movies, theater, just walked around New York. Weekends she went to Springfield to see her mom, who always asked when she'd bring that nice tax guy to meet her. Then came the news. Marcus was arrested at the Canadian border trying to leave with fake documents. The detective called Kate personally. "Thought you'd want to know. Your ex-husband's in custody. Trial in a month." Kate thanked him and hung up. Strange. But she felt neither joy nor satisfaction. Only fatigue and some emptiness. That evening, she sat at home. She'd rented a small apartment near the salon trying to read, but the letters blurred. A knock at the door. Paul stood there with pizza and wine. "Thought you shouldn't be alone tonight." They ate pizza straight from the box, drank wine from regular glasses, and talked about everything except Marcus, about childhood, dreams, how they saw their lives in 5 years. "You know what I want?" Kate said when the wine loosened her tongue. "A house, not an apartment, but a house with a garden where birds sing in the morning, and a dog, big, shaggy, and kids, at least 2. "Good plan," Paul smiled. "Is there a husband in this plan?" Kate looked at him over her glass. "I don't know. Do you want kids?" "Very much. But first, I need to find a woman who'll agree to have them. Tough task. Depends who for. For a tax inspector with average salary and rented apartment? Yes, tough. What if the woman doesn't care about salary and apartment? If what matters to her is that the man is reliable, kind, can protect her?" Paul set down his glass and looked into her eyes. "Kate, I need to tell you something. I fell in love with you from the first day I saw you at the salon. You stood in the middle of that chaos, your ex yelling, his mother hysterical, and you were like a rock, calm, confident, beautiful. I understand you're in a difficult period now, that you might not be ready for a relationship. But I want you to know I'll wait as long as it takes." Kate looked at him sincere, open, real, and understood that this was her chance. A chance at normal life, love, happiness. "What if you don't have to wait?" she asked quietly. "What? What if I also, well, you know, fell in love?" Paul blinked as if not believing his ears. "Really? Really?" He stood, walked around the table, knelt by her chair. "Kate, I'm not rich. I don't have a Mercedes or Swiss bank accounts, but I promise I'll make you happy, or die trying." She laughed through tears. "Don't die. Just be here." They kissed for the first time since they'd met, and it was right, natural, like breathing, as if they'd been waiting their whole lives for exactly this moment, for each other. A month later, the trial took place. Kate came not because she wanted to see Marcus, but because she needed to put a period at the end. He'd lost weight, looked haggard. Expensive suit replaced by prison uniform. When they announced the verdict 5 years medium security, he looked at her. In his gaze there was no hatred, only fatigue and something like regret. After the trial, Patricia approached her. Without the mink coat, without battle makeup, she looked like an ordinary elderly woman. "Catherine," she said quietly, "I wanted to forgive me for everything. I treated you badly, thought you weren't worthy of my son." And it turned out she didn't finish, but Kate understood. "It's okay, Patricia. It's life. We all make mistakes. Are you happy?" "Yes. Yes, I'm happy." "That's good. At least someone is." Leaving the courthouse, Kate took a deep breath. That's it. End of the story. Time to start a new one. Paul waited by his car. He'd recently bought a used Honda, his first car ever. "Well, you okay? Let's go home." "Home, where's that?" he asked with a smile. "Wherever you are," Kate answered. A year later, they got married. Modest wedding, only close ones. Helen cried with happiness. Paul's mom flew from Seattle and immediately became friends with her new in-law. Lisa and Victor were witnesses. The whole salon team came to congratulate. Rosa, reading Kate's palm before the ceremony, said, "See this line? It's the happiness line. It's just beginning for you. All the worst is behind you, dear." And Kate believed her. The salon thrived. Kate opened 2 more locations, launched her own cosmetics line. Paul left the IRS and became her CFO. Turned out he had amazing business acumen. Together they built exactly the business they dreamed of. Honest, transparent, bringing joy to people. Then came the children. First, Lily, Kate's copy with the same curly hair and stubborn character. Then Jack, all dad, serious and thoughtful. They bought a house in Westchester, that very one with garden and dog. The dog, by the way, they named Marcus. Paul insisted, said it would be a reminder that even from bad can come good. Sometimes, sitting on the porch in the evening, watching Paul play with the kids in the yard, Kate remembered that night 7 years ago, the night her life collapsed, and thought if she'd known then how it would all turn out, she would have said thank you to Marcus for freeing her for real life, real love, real happiness. Marcus got out after 3 years for good behavior. They say he moved to a small town, married a local teacher, works as a foreman on construction sites. Amanda married a programmer, had twins. Patricia sold her Manhattan apartment and moved to her sister's in Florida. Life put everyone in their places, and Kate knew for certain her place was exactly here, next to her beloved husband, children, in a house full of laughter and warmth. And that document she'd signed in advance before that fateful night was a simple deed of gift for the salon. But Marcus never found out. In his arrogance, he didn't even bother checking the documents the notary showed him. He just saw the salon no longer belonged to him, and it broke his whole scheme. But that doesn't matter anymore. What matters is that a story beginning with betrayal and pain ended with love and happiness. And that Kate Walton, now Stevens, knows for certain that whatever happens, she'll manage. Because beside her is a person who truly loves her. And that's worth more than all the treasures in the world.